taking a moment to arrive together. Today is the second in this series of finding peace and calm and buoyancy and equanimity in this January of 2025 with all of its challenges and expected and unexpected happenings. And yesterday we worked on our physiology. And for those of you who are here today who weren't here yesterday, I encourage you to go back and enjoy that class at some point. Remembering that we can use our physiology and our nervous systems and our cells and our bodies as a tool to help us. And oftentimes it gets in the way of us trying with our brain to move forward, especially in those of you who are thought people and brain people and in your head a lot. And so I encourage you to do that class. And a reminder, I'm going to teach tomorrow at this time and Monday at this time on similar themes. Each day is going to be a little bit different. And I'm also doing a coaching workshop tomorrow evening on this same topic of facing uncertainty and change, whether it's politics or climate change or lots of other things in your life, tomorrow evening. And tomorrow's Mindful Healers podcast is on the same topic. And one of the intentions of doing all this together is what I mentioned yesterday, the stacking of gifting yourself a little bit of movement and a little bit of movement at a time. And those small steps, just the one next step, is often how we get to a place that we'd like to be when it feels monumental to be there. And it's a kind way of supporting yourself. So I hope you'll join me for one or some of those. If you want to keep doing this work, my group coaching programs are starting this Thursday and the following week for the next 5 months. And they would be an awesome way to continue to support yourself for any of you for whom that might be helpful. And today's invitation is presence. And with that, find yourself present in this moment where you are, on your mat, in whatever space you find yourself, most of you indoors on this cold January day. Finding presence in your body, in your physical space, in your emotional space, and connecting to this idea of what is presence. It's simply being in this moment, enjoying this moment, experiencing this moment as it is. And it's a tool when things around you are swirling or we're worried about what may happen. And in the face of uncertainty and change, connecting with presence is powerful. Taking the breath in, sending the oxygen to each and every cell in this moment, and letting it out. And noticing how you're sitting in this moment. Is it comfortable? Where are your sit bones? Where is your spine? Where is your heart? How is your throat? Can you soften your throat? Can you grow your spine tall to the sky? And drop your shoulders and reach tall. And notice that in this moment, there's lots of choice and lots of agency. Make the choice to take a big, deep breath. And the choice to let it out easily. Breathing in and out. And notice your hands where they've landed, maybe on your thighs, maybe in your lap, deciding if that feels good to you or if you'd like to place them on purpose with choice somewhere else. Maybe it's hand to heart. Maybe it's hand to belly. Maybe it's one of each. Noticing what feels good today. Maybe it's on your thighs. Notice what feels right. Let your body and how you feel in this moment, in the present, help you. And taking a moment to connect to this idea that choice and agency are what presence is about. We have a choice to experience this moment as we do. We can go ahead and worry. We can look back and worry or judge, or we can enjoy this moment in the moment as it is. Peace is found in the present. And again, this is not intended to be a practice of emotional bypassing. It's intended to be a practice of care to help nourish yourself so that when you are more healthy and whole, you can move forward, bringing to this world what you would like to bring, what you're intended to bring, what feels good to bring. There are several of you here who are fixers and helpers, and taking good care of yourself and being in the present is where you garner the most energy, the most creativity, the most love to be able to move forward. And added to this theme today is this idea that presence can be joyful. And oftentimes what we are meant to bring to this world is joy and kindness and love. And it doesn't necessarily have to be changing the world or saving the world. It can bring tremendous good simply by being in the present, by being there for someone to witness something. Being present is something that as a coach, we spend a lot of time doing. And I clearly espouse presence in pause and presence. But I was most inspired. I have a dear friend whose husband died suddenly this week at a very young age, tragically. And he was one of the most present, happy, joyous humans. And in his joy, he brought so many others joy. And I'm reminded as we feel serious in this moment of lots of tragedies, that joy found in the present moment is a gift to ourselves and to others. And may his spirit inspire us, many of us who tend to be the serious ones, to drop into presence. And remembering that quote from Rhonda McGee, who says that it's our call to experience joy even as we work for better. And the joy is found in presence. And so while presence seems serious, it's also joyful, filled and joyful. And so today, as we practice presence, a little nudge for those of us who might move through the world more seriously to bring in that joy, that convertible ride, that moment of the wind in your hair, the huge in the moment hug, or taking a moment to laugh with a loved one, even in this moment of tremendous uncertainty and change. The peace and the joy and the love are found in presence. Connecting with what feels amazing about breathing in through your nose into your heart space, your belly, your root, where to your tip of your toes, and a long, smooth exhale, or outhale. Breathing in once again, letting the breath nourish you. Enjoy in the moment this one breath, and letting it out, enjoying it. Notice your chest rise and fall. Breathe in this intention of presence and being in the moment in whatever way feels good to you, choosing that. And choosing in this moment to perhaps let go of attachment to the future and the past. Letting yourself find pleasure and joy and fun in this moment. And connect to the safety of this moment wherever you are in the world. Gifting yourself a moment of presence here. Noticing the energy that comes with presence. the stillness that comes with presence, and what feels good that comes with presence. Choosing to pay attention on purpose to what is right now, to who's in your life right now, maybe even to winter, the beauty of winter. We sit in winter thinking about spring, but what is the beauty of this January day? The leafless trees, the cozy fire, whatever it might be for you. And we'll bring our hands together from wherever they are, rubbing them together, creating some heat and energy in the present moment, enjoying that heat. And bring thumbs to sternum, finger pads reach to the sky, elbows out wide, and take in a huge breath, present in this moment. Enjoy it. Let it bathe and nourish every cell in your body. And exhale, let it out. Breathing in Rhonda McGee's notion of it's our call to experience joy, even as we work for better. And we'll slowly lower our hands and open our eyes and come back together and enjoy a stretch and a wiggle in this moment, remembering that that lightness and looseness serves a purpose. And we'll reach our arms up to the sky, interlace your fingers and flip them palms to the sky and have a little shimmy, rooting downward into the earth where you are. Palms reach up and pay attention to your waist. Wiggle the waist, tip it side to side, grow tall, breathe in. As big, as tall as you can. Exhale, round forward. Suck your navel back to the back wall, to your spine. Press your hands forward. Reaching up. Round forward. Closing eyes, if it helps you drop into the present. Inhale, up. Slight arch back. Grow tall. Enjoy the movement. Exhale, round forward, suck your navel back into this seated cat. Press hands forward. Enjoy each finger interlaced with the other. Inhale, reach tall to the sky. Open arms, and we'll wrap ourselves into a huge hug. And squeezy hug that moves, enjoying it. Breath in, squeeze tighter. Exhale, release, and enjoy. Pause for a moment in this present moment, noticing your hands on your shoulders, noticing the pressure, the tightness, maybe the oxytocin. Open eyes and release and untangle. Press hands into the side wall, flex your wrists, spread your fingers, squeeze your scapula together, and notice all the sensations of being alive in this moment, right here, right now. Enjoy it. Release and hug yourself in the opposite direction. Other elbow on top. Squeeze, rock. Let that joy be in the squeeze. Let yourself enjoy something in the moment. Letting go of worries of future. Recognizing what's here now, what feels good. Thanking yourself for all you do, all you feel, who you are. And untangle, squeeze. Press your hands into the side walls and squeeze your scapula together. Lower hands, squinch your shoulders up to your ears, drop your occiput. And release, pause, and enjoy. Place your right palm on the floor, spread fingers wide, all 5 fingers, plant them on the earth, root the left hip down, and reach the left arm over. Enjoy the left side body. Big breath in, feeding every nook and cranny of the ribs. Enjoy your waist. Exhale, let it out. Bend right elbow if you have a little more room. Inhale, stretch a little bit further if you can. Finding pleasure in that left waist in each cell as it receives the oxygen, and exhale, soften. Press into the right hand and switch sides. Enjoy the rock to the other side. Plant the left hand, root the right hip down, and reach and stretch. Exhale, soften left elbow. Inhale, stretch. Enjoy your right rib cage, right ribs, right hip, right waist. Exhaling, enjoying. Coming back up to arms wide. Come into eagle arms again, right under left. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, drop to shoulder height. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, round forward, curl your head and neck into this ball and let yourself enjoy it. Inhale, lift up, untangle, stretch, and switch sides right away. Coming into the opposite eagle. Enjoy a little rock. Lift up and roll forward. Use your belly here. Let it feel good. Inhale, lift up and untangle. Open your hands, stretch your fingers wide, pinch your scapula. Release. Drop your chin to chest. Enjoy your neck for a moment. Chin to neutral. Release hands and lower down. Shrug shoulders up again. And release. Take the block out from underneath you, blanket, bolster, whatever you're sitting on. Stretch your legs long and have a bang of the knees. Let it feel good. And move that flesh of the seat out of the way so your ischial spines find the earth beneath you. And take a moment to connect downward, bend the knees slightly. Hands can be light on your knees, ankles flexed, spread your toes. Enjoy each toe and take a moment to be present with each one, practicing being in the moment and turning your noisy brain off. And maybe have some pleasure with the toes. Flex the big toe and take your little toes in the opposite. While you do this, notice your belly, which is awakening. Relax your toes. Bring knees slightly towards the floor and slide forward, hinging at the waist, waking up the back of the legs, back of the lower back. Drop your head. Wiggle toes, being in that moment. Maybe wiggle fingers. Point the right toe, flex the left ankle, and point left toe, flex right ankle. Do that one more time. Enjoy the energy. Come back to center. Slide up those shins to your knees, to your thighs. Open your legs wide and take a moment to lift up onto your sit bones once again. Grow your spine tall. Reach the crown of your head to the sky, sitting tall and proud. And take a moment here to root down, find your belly, and grow. Notice your knees. If they are bent, bring them a little bit closer together so you can lower them down if you can. And have a rock on your sit bones. Find them. Slide your right hand down the right leg and reach the left arm over. Open your rib cage here. Big breath in. Exhale, let it out. Enjoy this moment. Lifting both arms up and switch sides. Enjoy that side. Reaching back up to center. Bring your right hand down to the right knee. Bring the right sole of the foot into the left inner thigh. Lower the left hand. Bring your right hand behind and lift up into Wild Thing. Enjoy the stretch. Roll your wrists. Lower down. Switch sides. Lift up into Wild Thing on that side. Noticing a little bit faster movement today with the idea that it keeps you present. Sitting down, making presence not too hard. Bring the sole of your feet together and hug your ankles in towards you and have a rock on your sit bones, rocking side by side, flapping your butterfly wings. Tilt the pelvic bowl forward. Wrap your arms around your chest and sit up tall. Huge breath in. Exhale, draw knees towards the earth and enjoy. Inhale once again. And exhale, release. Remembering that butterflies go through the muck too, and they turn out beautiful. So maybe this is a mucky season or the chrysalis season, but we can be present in that. There's beauty in that as well. Releasing hands, stretch your legs long, and we'll flip over to our hands and knees for a moment. Inhale for cow and let it feel good. Don't overdo it. And exhale, round into cat. Simply for the pleasure of the cat and the cow. The cow and the cat. Come back to tabletop. Walk your hands forward, a handprint, curl your toes, and lift up to downward dog. Take a moment to enjoy it. Rocking. Lift up onto your tippy toes, high as you can. Reach your sit bones to the sky, lower head and neck. And lower your heels. Enjoy the energy shift. Lift up onto your tippy toes again. Drop heels to the left, bend the left knee, and enjoy the right side. Noticing that you're very present in the right hip here, likely. Big breath in and out. Inhale, lift up to the sky. Drop your heels to the other side. Bend your right knee, straight the left. Enjoy your hip. Come back to center. Lift high as you can. Once again, have a waggle of the hips. Wag your tail and lower your heels to the floor to the best of your ability. Walk your hands back a little closer to you until you get your heels to the floor. Notice how it feels. Lots of energy, lots of twanginess. Being in the present sometimes isn't comfortable. Walk hands forward a smidge, widen your feet. Left hand comes to the right ankle, gaze under your right armpit. Switch sides. And untangle. Slowly walk your hands back towards your feet, grasp your elbows, and have a sway. Bend your knees, enjoy it. Come to stillness. Lower left palm on the floor, bend your left knee, straight your right knee, and roll your right wrist out in both directions. Taking a moment to be in the present with that right hip. Switch sides. Plant the right hand, bend the right knee, reach the left to the sky, release the left wrist. Come back to center. Inhale and unroll, reaching arms out and up towards the sky. Palms come together. Drip your hands down in front of your heart. Press the thumbs into your sternum. And notice your feet under you. Lift up all 10 toes. Find those 4 corners of your feet. Root them downward and lower your toes, each toe enjoying connecting to the earth. Press the thumbs into your sternum. Finger pads reach to the sky. Close eyes and take a moment here. Noticing what feels good in this present moment. Finding peace in the present. Finding joy in the present. And choose how you'd like to experience the present. When you pay attention to the present, what is, it feels good. It's quieter. Lower hands and open your arms. Reach them out and up once again. Circle them together. Palms come together and drip them down in front. Lower down towards your waist and reach them out and up once again. Use your belly here. Palms come together. Drip them down in front. We'll do this once more. Arms reaching out and up towards the sky. Palms come together and fold forward, forward, fold. Inhale for a half lift. Your heart shines forward. Take a moment to appreciate how funny this pose is. Exhale, lower down. Inhale for that half lift. Exhale, lower down. And you'll walk your hands towards the front of the mat. Most of you will be at the back of your mat. Come to downward dog. Shift forward into plank. Find your belly, find your center, adjust your hands if you need. Shift back to downward dog and forward into plank, staying in the moment. Shift into your tippy toes and back to center. Once more into your tippy toes, back to center. Drop your heels to the right. Come into side plank if that works for you. You can bend your knee if you need. Reach your right arm over, roll your wrist, enjoy the right side. Reach that right arm up to the sky. Drop it into the left hip crease. Roll your shoulder and gaze up if you can. And if not, gaze down. Do what works for your neck. Reaching tall, come back to plank. Find your center. Remembering the transition. Find your steadiness amidst the challenges, the tips. Drop your heels to the left. Reach the left arm up. Reach it over. Reach it up. Exhale, drop it into the right hip crease. Roll your shoulder, gaze up or down. Be kind to your neck. Come back to center. Find your center. Bend knees, wrap your elbows in, untuck and roll down, chaturanga, to the earth. Weight is out of your hands. Inhale, lift up for low cobra. Exhale, lower down. Bring your hands by your sides, palms up by your hips. Wiggle your fingernails on the floor or toenails on the floor. Connect to your lower back. Inhale, lift up for locust pose. Fronts of the hips ground into the earth. Heart is light. Be present here in this moment. Everything engaged. Wiggle fingers and toes. Lower down. Bring your hands back by your chest. Curl your toes and lift up to downward dog. Walk the dog. Raise your left leg to the sky. Square hips, three-legged dog. Huge breath in. Exhale, bring the left foot between your hands. Cartwheel arms to warrior two and adjust if you need. Arms reach in either direction. Make this a longer warrior two if you can. And take a moment. Pause here. Let the blood flow shift. Let yourself settle. Send the energy right into the root of your spine. Big inhale. Exhale, engage the right glute and bend the left knee, sink in. Readjust the front toes and the front foot. Inhale. Exhale, sink a wee bit lower. Straight your front knee. Shift the left hand all the way forward, drop into Trikonasana or triangle pose. Intentionally creating shapes. Notice where your hand falls. It can be on a block or you can stay up. Do what feels best to you today. It might be different. Shift back up to neutral. Bend that front knee. Right hand comes down the right thigh. Reach back to peaceful, elegant warrior. Enjoying the front ribs in the moment. Filling them with breath, letting it feel good. Come back to warrior two. Turn your hips to face front and arms will reach up to the sky. Hop your back foot out. We're going to come into warrior one. Take a moment here. to breathe. Settle your back foot, bend your front knee, widen your feet. Find a really good comfy pose. Straight your front knee and bend. Close your eyes if you can. Be in the moment and bend. Bring hands to your heart. Press your hands into your sternum. Press the palms together. We're going to come into Warrior 3 for fun, and because you definitely have to be in the moment as you fly. Pick up onto the back toes, shift your weight into the front foot, and we will come to fly. Keep your hands at heart center for a moment, connecting to that heart space in this moment. Roll the back ankle. And if you wish to fly now, reach arms in front or to the sides. Do what feels good to you today, behind you, maybe all of the above. Engage your right glute, lift it up. Release fingers, roll ankle, inviting a little jazz and a little fun to it. Lower your foot down, reach arms to the sky, come back to Warrior 1. Huge breath in. Inhale, reach as tall as you can. Pour the breath into the right hip. Exhale, lower your hands to the floor, and you'll hop your back foot forward about 18 inches. Come into pyramid pose with or without blocks. Since we're moving a little faster today, the blocks might get in your way, but you choose. You can stay up higher if you wish in that pyramid. In fact, notice if you'd like to do a half lift pyramid or a folded collapsed pyramid. You choose what feels good. Huge breaths in. Pour the breath in. Staying in this present moment with the pleasure, in fact, in the back of the leg. Sometimes it's hard to tell what the sensation is. Enjoy a hip sway. Letting that joy and lightness be there, and you may notice that it releases some things. The wiggles in the moment are part of being present. Letting your body be in it with itself and choose. From here, bend your front knee. You're going to walk your hands forward about a foot. Place your palms on the earth or your fists on the earth. Raise your right leg to hip height. Press your heel to the back wall, and you can straighten your front knee to whatever degree you can. And notice if your hips get wonky and square them. Engage your right glute, press your heel to the back wall. Bend your elbows a little and release your head and neck. Notice what you're holding. Very often our present moment is gripping, gripping, gripping. Soften into the present. Bend the front knee and lift it. Roll the back ankle in both directions. Bend that front knee. Once again, lower the right foot to meet the left foot. Widen your feet a bit and come into a forward fold. Grasp either elbow. Have a sway here. Let it be a swaying forward fold. Let your feet be about the width of the mat. Alternate bending one knee and then the other. Huge breath in. Lower your hands and you'll widen your feet a little bit further. Heel toe them out. Sink into a yogi squat. One of the more ridiculous poses in yoga, actually. Letting yourself be in this moment. Elbows to your knees, hands together, thumbs to your heart space. Close eyes if you can, and take a moment to draw your attention to this moment. Whatever is there for you. Giving whatever feelings might like to pop up about this moment in time. Sadness, worry, grief, fear. Letting them come up in this moment, giving them an intentional moment to be without pushing them away. And Maybe if you joined me yesterday, there's less of them. Let yourself be present here with what feels good and what doesn't. Yoga offers that can all happen in the same time. And maybe have a little rock, inviting that movement here in whatever space you have. Lower your hands, shoot your hips up, turn your toes forward, come back to a forward fold. Bend your knees and straighten them here in the forward fold. If you need to lift your hands up, you can. Release, relax, engage that belly and unroll, sweeping your arms out and up. Let it be a little bit fun. And drip your hands to heart center. Lower hands to the floor, to the side. Come into Tadasana or mountain pose. Huge, delicious breaths. Enjoying, embodying, being a mountain here. Tomorrow, we're going to have a class dedicated to being a lighthouse, one of my favorite things in the world are lighthouses. I love looking at them. I love the ocean, but also embodying that ability to shine a light in the midst of storms, be a beacon of light for others with that choice and intention and what it feels like to be a lighthouse. Here, enjoy what it feels like to be a mountain. Mountains have been here for a very long time. They have been through a lot of uncertainty, a lot of change, a lot of weather. In California, a lot of earthquakes. They've even been through a lot of fires, and they're still standing. They regrow. Things look different. But being present here in your body, enjoying what is, Charlie Mackesy offers, and what is what you love right under your nose when it gets dark and stormy. That's what presence helps you do. Focusing attention on purpose. Be in the moment. Enjoy the breath. And notice the longer you're in the moment, maybe the harder it gets. Wiggle fingers, wiggle toes, and drop back in. One more breath. Let it out. Open eyes. Inhale your arms out and up. Slight arch back. And we'll fold forward, forward, fold. A reminder that the movement is always an option. Inhale for that half lift. Back is flat. Exhale, forward fold. Step back to plank and pause. Shift your weight forward, back, side to side. Notice where your center is. Shift your weight forward, lower down chaturanga, and lift up either downward dog or low cobra. You choose what's your happy place. And we'll lift up and meet in down dog. Have a little walk. When we are in the midst of challenging, chaotic, turbulent times, we tend to grip. Little walks, little shimmies can be helpful. Find your center and your belly. Root all 10 fingers downward, both palms flatten. Ground into the ball mound of the left foot and raise your right leg. Roll your ankle. Huge breath in. Gently bring your foot between your hands and come into warrior two. Bend that knee, lengthen your warrior two. So it's a longer stance. Turn yourself a bit forward so the right hip tacks clockwise and the left hip comes forward a little bit. Enjoy this warrior two. Close eyes. Notice the soles of your feet. Be present with them. Notice your toes. Find your belly button. Breathe in. Fill your lungs with breath. Grow tall. Exhale, sink in. Bend the front knee a little bit. Inhale, grow tall through the torso, through the crown of your head. Exhale, sink in through that front knee. Let it feel good. Straight your front knee. Tip your right hand all the way forward. Drop into Trikonasana, whatever it looks like for you today. And enjoy being here. Take a moment to notice what being here is, what the triangles are, what feels good, what doesn't. You might even try engaging and releasing different muscles in your glutes and your inner thighs, noticing each toe on the floor, wiggling each finger while you're here in this triangle, noticing all the triangles. Potentially reach your left hand a little higher, enjoy your waist, create a little more space. Inhale, lift up. Bend your front knee. Tip back into elegant warrior. Enjoying this moment here. Send the breath into your waist, your hips, your rib cage. See if you can't get those left fingers a little bit closer to your knee, back knee. Wiggle the top fingers. Close eyes if you can. To drop in and notice this present moment. Find the pleasure in it. Wiggling fingers to find a little lightness. Cartwheel, open, back to warrior two. You'll reach your arms up straight over your head, turn your hips in front, hop your left foot out. We'll come to warrior one. And take a minute. You may need to widen your feet. Notice what feels good and what doesn't. Inhale, drink the breath, reach your hands taller, taller, taller. Send some love to the front of the left hip flexor. Be present with any spot in your body that's letting you know it's there. Feed it with the breath. Bring hands to heart center. Press the thumbs into the sternum to help you balance. Palms come together. Each finger pad comes together. Thumbs to sternum, lift up onto the tiptoe of the back foot and shift your weight forward and adjust as you need into warrior three. And decide if you'd like to keep hands to heart center here or reach them forward, you choose. Notice what happens when you do to your hips, to your standing leg, to your back leg. And wherever you are, invite some wrist rolls, ankle rolls, finger shimmies. In the balance of all the things, there's always wobbles. There's supposed to be. Bring hands back to heart center and shift back to that warrior one. Reach arms to the sky, bend the front knee, and stand tall. Reach your hands to the ceiling, crown of the head reaches to the ceiling. Left hip lengthens. Huge inhale. Exhale, hands over around either side of the right foot, and hop your back foot forward. Come into that pyramid. A pyramid that works for you might be longer, might be shorter. Hands might be on your shins, not on your knee preferably. So above or below your knee, back can be flat or rounded, and it might look different on this side. Wherever you are, remember to breathe. Let the breath help you be present. Enjoy the presence. Enjoy the sensations. Let your hips wag a bit. To remember to bring you back into this moment. Come back to stillness. 2 breaths here, 2 more. Wiggle toes if you need. Bend your front knee, walk your hands forward, lift the left leg up, come to the half splits. You'll press your left heel into the back wall. Your weight is light in your hands, and your weight is mostly in that right standing leg. You can bend and straighten it. Roll the left ankle. Engage your right glute. Remember to breathe. And take a moment here, being present upside down in this quite awkward spot. Wiggle toes. Gently lower the left foot. Bring it alongside the right foot. And sink your hips back. Come into chair pose. Hands to heart center and sink back just for a moment here. Lift up all 10 toes. Sink your hips. Enjoy the four corners of your feet. Lower toes, lower hands, and shoot upwards. Hips, release everything. Find your belly and unroll to stand. Hands will stay by your sides. And enjoy for a moment. Letting things readjust. We're going to do a dancer pose before we transition to the floor today. If you want, you can use the wall. You don't have to make it hard. And if you don't want, don't use the wall. Come to stand. Send your left leg down into the earth. Lift up all 5 toes and lower them down. Find your belly. Bring your hands to hips to start. Bring your right knee to hip height. 90-degree angle, roll that ankle out. Right hand will slide over the top of the right knee to the right shin, and you'll bring your heel to your rear end. You may pause here. That may be what feels amazing to you. This can be your dancer pose. Or you can reach your left hand to the sky and grow tall and enjoy it here. If it's fun for you, and let the invitation be of finding joy in the present. It's only found when you're in the present. You can tip forward and enjoy whatever dancer you find today. A wobbly one, a steady one. When you feel complete, coming back upright and come to stand and loosen it up. Have a little swagger, as they say. And root your right leg down. Lift up all 5 toes, root them downward. Wrap your belly, find your belly button, send it inward to your spine. Hands on hips, raise the left knee to hip height. Roll your ankle such that you find your center. Slide the right hand, the left hand, pardon me, over the left knee. Reach your left heel to your rear end. Enjoy the thigh stretch. Find your steadiness here. The steadiness is found in the present. When you pause, you notice, and you take a minute. A good strategy for moments in time. Reach your right arm to the sky. Grow tall and proud and strong. And tip forward to enjoy your dancer, whatever it looks like today. Might not look like typical, might not look like it usually does, or you think it should, and who cares? Will it feel good? Notice if you can bend your right knee. Don't lock out. Roll your right wrist. And when you feel complete, coming back up, lower down, and undo everything. Have a shimmy, be in the moment. Let there be some joy in that presence. And transition to the floor in whatever way feels good to you. And when you arrive, bring knees directly to chest and rock. Enjoy the moment. Enjoy the massage. Breathe. Come into happy baby. Notice your lower back here. And ease into happy baby. Wiggle toes. Bring that joy into the present moment. Always of possibility, not to disregard the sadness, grief, and tension, but to move it, to wiggle it, and to experience joy even as we work for better. Bring the soles of your feet together, heels towards your groin. Enjoy the inner thigh stretch. Move your arms around to get out of the way of your chest, if your chest happens to be in the way. And breathe. Pour the breath all the way into your groin, into those areas that don't like to be in the present, that like to be tense and worry. Flooding them with breath and choice, perhaps. Healing them with the breath, gifting them the breath and the space and a moment to be seen and cared for. You can wiggle your hips here too and notice what happens. Little tiny movements can drop you into this moment of presence. Wiggle your toes. Noticing that those people who are the most present, they're usually the ones who are dancing or wiggling or moving. They're rarely holding perfectly still, even though when we think about being present, it's the static thing. Release your hands, lower your feet to the floor, come into Supta Baddha Konasana. Hand to heart, hand to belly. Acknowledging anything that might like to be acknowledged. That is also part of presence. Bring your hands to your outer thighs. Draw your knees together. Bring your right ankle atop of the left knee. Thread your hand through. Come to figure four. In figure four, let your ankles be flexed and enjoy a rock here. Press your right elbow into your right knee and enjoy the sensation. Don't overdo it. There's nothing to accomplish or stretch to be done. Wiggle toes, rock hips. Notice the moment, what's happening in the moment. Let yourself experience the joy, the pleasure, even as all the things around you may not feel that way. Both can be. Roll both ankles here. Come to stillness. Release your hands. Lower your left sole of the foot to the floor. Raise your arms over your head into an easy cactus shape. Drop your right sole of the foot to the left, coming into a figure four twist. And a huge breath in and release. If you want to gaze to the right and you have room, spacious, kind room, enjoy it. And enjoy this present moment. Right here, right now. Bring your gaze back to center and pause. Bring your knees back to center. Untangle them. Reorganize your shoulders, your sacrum, soles of your feet on the floor, your head, and pause. Raise your left ankle atop right knee. Spread your hands behind your right thumb and come into figure four here. Press left elbow into left knee. Flex your ankles to take good care of your knees. And enjoy a wiggle, a shimmy, Let there be a little spice to it. Roll your ankles. Be present with every pop. Be present with the breath. Wiggle toes. Rock. As your brain begins to go elsewhere, the movement can draw you back to the present. Release your hands. Lower your foot, arms over your head, and drop your feet, your left sole of the foot to the right, outer right thigh to the floor. Enjoy your left hip. Breathe. If you wish, and it's spacious, and you can breathe when you do it, gaze to the left. Wherever you are, soften your throat. Invite the breath with ease into every nook and cranny. And if you cannot, release a bit. Let the breaths be full and long and nourishing. You can invite a little wiggle to the hips if you can, and maybe the shoulders. Bring your gaze back to center. And slowly take your time, come back to center, uncross your knees. Reorganize sacrum, shoulders, knock your knees together, and windshield wiper right to left a couple of times, inviting ease, stretch, movement. Let yourself be present, simply swooshing side by side. When your back feels complete, bring yourself back to center. Bring your hands down by your sides and come into Shavasana, into a comfortable Shavasana, whatever that is for you. If you need a blanket, grab one. If you need a bolster, grab one. And as you arrive, take in a huge big breath. And on the exhale, release. Drop into this moment of presence. It's a moment of letting go and surrendering to what is in this moment, right here on your mat. Noticing that in this moment, it can feel amazing if we let it. Shavasana. For anyone who wishes to stay longer, please do. And for anyone who wants to or needs to come out, take a breath. begin to wiggle and shift and bring that consciousness back into your body. Take a moment here to honor and enjoy how you feel. Take a moment to stretch and enjoy how that feels. Be present with the joy in the stretch. And make your way back to a comfortable seat where we began. And let it be comfortable. When you drop in, drop right back into that Shavasana feeling. And bring a hand to heart, a hand to belly, double hands to belly, or one in each place. Whatever feels right to you today. And it might be different than what felt right to you yesterday or what feels right to you tomorrow. Honoring the present moment, honoring what feels good. Thank you all so much for practicing with me today. May you all have a day of noticing what it feels like to be present, enjoying the present, and throwing in a bit of movement, jiggle, and joy. All that can only be found when we are present. May you invite yourself to practice those and notice how things feel when you do. May you all be well. May you all be safe. May you all be loved. And may you all find peace and joy in the present moment. Namaste.